The second week of testimony kicked off on Monday in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial, and there was a noticeable shift in the content of the testimony brought by three witnesses. Singer Dawn Richard returned to the stand. She had started testifying on Friday. She spoke about witnessing Combs act violently toward his longtime girlfriend, Cassie. Cassie, the key prosecution witness, testified last week that Combs was not only physically abusive toward her, but also engaged her in hundreds of so-called freak-offs, drug-fueled sex marathons. On Monday, jurors did not hear anything about those so-called freak-offs. They heard about Combs' other behavior. They heard about alleged violence, and they heard about the apparatus that prosecutors say he used to cover up for his behavior, his employees, and his company. Richard talked about an instance in 2009 where she says Combs swung a skillet at Cassie and then knocked her to the ground and beat her. Cassie's longtime best friend, Carrie Morgan, testified that she not only witnessed Combs acting abusively towards Cassie, but that Combs also turned his rage on her. Carrie Morgan recalling an incident in 2018 where she says Combs stormed into Cassie's home and choked her, meaning Carrie Morgan, and then hit her in the head with a wooden hanger. Carrie Morgan also testified, echoing Dawn Richard's testimony, that Combs was in control of Cassie's life. Not only did he pay for her apartment and her car and pay her a stipend for living expenses, but he also had her signed to his record label, Bad Boy Records. He put out one album. Cassie wanted to put out more, but Combs was in charge, and he said that putting out albums, furthering her career, that would be up to him and on his own time. Ultimately, under that contract, Cassie never put out another album. At the end of the day, jurors heard from a personal assistant who worked for Combs from 2007 to 2009. That was early in his relationship with Cassie. David James testified that during his job interview, a top lieutenant to Combs pointed to a picture on the wall of Sean Diddy Combs and said, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom. We all serve him." David James then recalled a conversation he had with Cassie where Cassie explained that she could not simply leave the globe-trotting lifestyle that Combs had introduced her to because ultimately she said Combs was in control of her life. He also recalled a conversation he had with Combs where Combs said that Cassie was very moldable, that she was young, and that he had her right where he wanted. Now, Cassie testified last week for 4 days, talking about those freak-offs, talking about the violence she says she endured for more than a decade with Combs. This week, prosecutors are looking to add to that testimony and support it by bringing in people that not only witnessed the abuse she alleges, but that also can explain how Combs used his company and his employees to, as they say, cover it up. That's part of the racketeering charge that is at the heart of this case, along with the sex trafficking allegation. Combs has pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors expect to call more witnesses on Tuesday, including possibly Cassie's mother.